Welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
Dude, what a crazy bitch she was, I think.
Well, if she didn't get high every day, like all the time, then
Yeah, what was the roach that she was smoking in this? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the last episode of Spooky Season.
Spooky Season F3. Spooky Season F3. What?
Spooky Season is coming to an end.
Oh.
You'll be listening to this the Tuesday before Halloween.
That's right. That week, Tuesday before Halloween, October 27th. What's up, everybody? And if you didn't, you catch up on the other two Spooky Season episodes, Halloween Music, episode 17, music video, which was amazing. And
I kill a bug in that episode.
Oh, amazing. And Killer Clowns from Outer Space. There was Steve Herrera, episode 16. Shout out.
No, I gotta say, after listening to that episode, I actually was like, that movie is actually pretty good just because of how much fun we had talking about the movie.
I think when we were talking about rating it, and we were kind of like, this is a movie I would only watch with people who have watched it before to make fun of it. It kind of remind me of Cocktail, but like I feel like, just to backtrack to Cocktail, which I think we always do at this point sometimes.
Well, we have to. It was the original episode of this podcast.
I feel
everything goes back to Cocktail.
I feel like around episode 20 or 30, we're gonna have to rehash Cocktail. But what I'm seeing is that like Cocktail is a really good film. Because I don't know. We watched some movies where I was like, this is a movie?
All right.
Oh, people.
Yes.
Today,
we're here, guys.
Welcome to another episode of the Nostalgia Test Podcast. I'm Dan Dissinger here in LA, living it up in paradise. And I'm here with my longtime friend and co-host, Manny Coelho in New York. Manny, what's up?
What's up?
How are you?
We got leaf peeping season going on. It's coming to an end.
Yeah, everyone
we got
check
the
out.
end of spooky season.
Oh, thank God.
And we got the end of pumpkin fucking spice lattes, and we have the end of pumpkin flavored beer. I can't wait until that's all over so we could just get into our porters and our stouts.
Porters and stouts, dude. Porters and stouts. I mean, shout out to the Boulder
and winter lagers.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Shout out to the Mountain Sun in Boulder, Colorado for their February Stout Month. One of the greatest months of beer ever.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But today we are talking about, Manny. This movie. The 1990 horror movie, Jim Henson movie, The Witches, with Angelica Houston and Rowan Atkinson, which was amazing to see Mr. Bean in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mr. Bean. And he played like a regular kind of character. I mean, he played goofy a little bit, but not a typical Mr. Bean.
Oh, not a typical Mr. Bean at all.
No.
This
movie.
Yeah, Manny.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna let you get through these facts because
I'm just gonna give a short short amount of facts, not that short, but so we can get into this because I have a lot to talk about with this movie. But The Witches is a 1990 dark fantasy comedy film directed by Nicholas Roeg, produced by Jim Henson, and starring Angelica Houston, Mai Zetterling, Rowan Atkinson, and Jason Fisher, based on the 1983 book of the same name by Roald Dahl. As in the original novel, the story features evil witches who masquerade as ordinary women and kill children, and a boy and his grandmother must find a way to foil their plans. The film was produced by Jim Henson Productions for Lorimer Film Entertainment as the last theatrical film to be produced by Lorimer before the company shut down in 1993. The film was very well received by critics, but performed poorly at the box office. However, it has retained a cult following over the years. That's just a little bit of The Witches, and I have some trivia and all sorts of stuff set up, but yeah.
All right, so first of all, Jim Henson, killing it in the 90s.
Wow.
Boy did he kill it with all this costumes and animatronics and whatever? Crazy.
This was some Dark Crystal shit.
Dude, I remember this movie when you brought it up and you made me watch the preview. First of all, the way these witches looked was so creepy.
Oh,
I was like, wait. First of all, the fact that you even called it a comedy, now I understand because there was some like comedy to it, but like,
oh yeah,
I was thinking as a kid, like, this is some scary ass witches, man. This is like some of these scenes were scary as like just creepy. But
this
let's
movie was
start
scary
with the
as fuck.
creepiest character, I think, in this
Go
movie.
ahead.
The fucking grandma.
Dude, this grandma is like, there's a lot of things. One, she's the worst grandmother on the planet.
Terrible
Ever.
grandma.
Terrible grandma. First of all, they're terrible grandmas. They're terrible parents in this
Were
film.
they drinking and driving?
Dude, first of all, yes, that kid, Jason Fisher in the movie Luke, his parents die. I guess they were drinking and driving. I don't know
Dude,
how they
that
died.
first shot of them getting in the car,
Yes.
crazy shot. That
Oh, yeah.
POV, like,
Mhm.
that's why I was thinking they were drinking and driving because the shot was like all over the place and like wobbly. And I was like, oh, this doesn't look good.
No.
I gotta say, this movie had the best part of this movie was suspense.
Oh,
Everything was like a drumbeat, like a slow drumbeat. You're like,
yeah.
what's about to happen? What the fuck is gonna happen?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's gonna happen? And like, you're like, they could have made this movie like half the time, but like everything was drawn out, but like very well drawn out.
I feel like I
like
sat
done
down
purposely.
Yeah, I sat down for this film. It started and then it ended. I'm like, whoa, like it's over? I was like, it's over.
But not much happens. If you think about like the biggest action scenes, the biggest parts of the movie, we could say like this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, and the movie. But everything that happened was like a very well thought out storytelling, which is basically set up by the grandmother who is telling the story of the witches in the beginning, which is a creepy ass fucking story. Right before, who tells this story to a grandson right before bed?
Dude, that was the best part. She's like talking very slowly, and she's like, "Witches do," and then she's like, "Okay, good night." And I'm like, "Wait a second, like, oh my God!" Like you might as well just been like, "Hey, you might not wake up. Goodbye," and then like just like, "What? But this is what happens when your grandma gets really high." I mean, this woman was smoking blunts in this movie. It looked like she just like
the doctor's calling it cigars. You first of all, you never see her light the cigar.
No. Okay. One time, I think she matched it up.
Yeah, but you never see her smoking it. She just has it in her mouth.
Yeah.
But that cigar just looked like a blunt. So she's smoking blunts the whole time. My theory is that this whole movie is just her tripped out, sleeping next to the grandson. Like, okay, there's no witches. She was talking.
They killed a bunch of people.
No. Well, my theory is this is all a dream in her head while she's tripping out. And then the mom and dad, they should just like knock on the door at the end and be like, "Oh, we're home."
The kid's like sitting there like, "Get this bitch out of my fucking room. Why are there so many candles?" What year is it? I was trying to figure out what year this movie was taking place in, and I was just like,
I don't know.
What the fuck is the era? Because like, first of all, the whole first part of the movie is the craziest shit I've ever heard. Because the one about the little girl who gets captured by the witch, right? Erica, her friend or something. And then she ends up in the painting.
So here's the thing with that.
Throw the painting out.
Yeah, they say the witches die to kill the kids. But that's not, to me, that's not true then. No. Or is it like their spirits go into the painting? Like the witches love the painting and they're touching the one in the hotel room and the girl's making noise. So the thing's alive.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just living, staring at other people.
Yeah, they just live in the painting. Like they don't kill them because they never find their bodies. Remember the grandma said that in her
Yeah,
amazing bedtime story? She's like,
yeah.
"Oh, they get the kids and they never find their bodies." It's just like this kid is scared out of his mind. And then
Hmm.
she's like talking about how the little kids live in the painting. But they die in the painting because remember, like Erica grows old and
Old in
the
the painting.
parents watch it and then she just vanishes one day.
Yeah. So she's
Which
alive. So
yeah,
she's like frozen in this painting,
yeah, feeding ducks. Like, if you're in the
feeding
painting,
ducks.
like, don't feed ducks. Are you trying to get out of the painting?
I don't know. I don't think you can get out. You know
Oh,
what would have been great is at the end, all the witches are in the painting.
now that like The Shining, where like they pull out that photo at the end of The Shining of the New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
That would
No,
have
because
been
you know, like
crazy.
in the hotel room, in the
Yeah.
hotel, they had that little girl sitting there. That
Yes.
it should have been filled with all the witches that got killed from the
Uh,
at the end.
that would have been cool.
That would have been a cool cut. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what happens to them.
Yeah. Though I
But
like the ending, but they had to add
no,
that
I
ending
like
in
the
the movie.
ending, but I was like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
One
was,
more thing.
dude, it was crazy.
But can we just
First,
like back up for 1 second? Because I
of
have a
course
real
we can.
problem with the beginning of this film. What's
Okay,
with that weird GoPro shit with the snow mountains in the beginning, in the opening credits? Do you remember
no,
like
no
the movie?
idea. It like reminded me of like, don't go chasing waterfalls opening. Like we're on a plane, and then all of a sudden we're like in the water.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I didn't understand that. Or I was like, are we going to the Swiss Alps at
Yeah.
this point?
And then it was like a hard cut. Boom. And then it's like, you know, house. I was like,
House, and she's talking about like
okay.
witches.
Yeah.
And was it around Halloween? Why was she talking about witches?
I feel like she just does that. I feel like this grandmother is obsessed with witches because she's a witch hunter. She's like Blade or like Van Helsing. She has no, her finger got cut off by a witch.
Is she a witch hunter or she just survived that?
I mean, I feel like she should be more of a witch hunter, or she's like she is just as this survived, but she knows all these things, like like in Blade and stuff like that, where they talk about like vampires this and vampires that, and they're talking about how to spot them and what they can and can't do, and she's just like telling this kid all about the witches and how to how to spot them, what they do, that they can smell you and all stuff, and I'm like, how did you get all this knowledge if you're not studying and trying to kill them?
And did she wait until her grandson is this the only grandson? So she like had all this knowledge, didn't tell anybody else. Like
I think that everyone just thinks she's crazy.
I would it would have been good to like have her like backstory be
Yes.
shown of how
Mhm.
she lost that finger.
That would have been awesome. That would have been great. But instead, we get that weird story of that little girl who was allowed to walk by herself to get a pail of milk. And then she's walking down the most sketchy alley ever. Of course, she gets kidnapped. Of course, she
Yeah.
gets grabbed by a witch. Like, you are bad parents. You set out, you're like, what? That girl had to be what, 7?
Yeah.
And they're like, here, go get some milk. You're like, okay. It's like, now you're in a painting.
Now you're in a pain.
You're in a painting.
And nobody like talks to like the official officers about this.
No,
Like, dude, my daughter's in a painting. Like
yeah.
they don't like take it to like some spiritual shit and be like, this is where all the missing children's go. Why did
Yeah.
they go to that painting?
I don't know. It looks like the same painter too. The painting that the other girl's stuck in the hotel. It's
Hmm.
like this painter. It's like that witch painter or something now. It's just really weird.
It's weird. They
But the
see
whole,
they could have been more with this like painting thing.
I would
Like
have loved more of the painting thing.
explain why.
Yeah, yeah. But the whole first third of this movie is tragic and scary.
Scary as
Like
fuck.
it's scary and it's tragic. Bad parents. Parents die. The grandma
Parents
takes the kid.
parents
Die.
die. Grandma doesn't take the kids back to America. Says to us, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know who she was
All of a
talking to.
sudden, there was the only time that she was talking to us was when she says, I didn't take him back to America, but I
Yeah,
put him in private school or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Right. Then she leaves him on this tree house,
yeah.
right?
In the front of the house.
In the front of the house. He's calling grandma. I don't know what she does, right?
Yeah,
Passes out. And then all of a sudden, the doctor tells her that she has to go to a hotel.
So,
because she has diabetes.
dude, that whole logic, like first of all, he's like screaming for his grandmother because there's a witch there. He sees the
Yeah,
purple eyes. These purple eyes scared the crap out of me. Like I
sure.
remember as a kid that this purple eyes scared me. I remember seeing them now and being like, "Whoa, okay." But all the shots, the close-up weird shots of these like witches' faces were like amazing.
Yeah,
And the best was that she's like, "Oh, I got something in my bag, and I guess you'll really like it." She pulls this huge snake out of her bag. I would be like, "I'm not coming down there."
she's like every boy likes a snake. I was like,
Yeah,
not every boy, because I definitely did not like fucking snakes that much
yeah,
that I'd be like, oh sure, you have a
yeah.
snake in your wallet, no problem.
Yeah, not that snake. It's a huge snake. It's like I'd be like, you're walking around with a huge snake in your bag. Like that is just fucking weird. But all the witches also are very fashionable. So of course you're gonna be able to tell that they're witches. They're like dressed to
Yeah,
the nines, like they're like walking down the runway.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, so and then but that scene, like, so they're eating, whatever. The grandma's like tripped out definitely all the time. Like,
Passes
she,
out.
worst acting ever. She just passes out, and it's like, oh, the kid just. I thought I was like, oh fuck, the kid just lost his grandmother.
I was like, I forgot. Wait a second. Did he just have
Yeah,
by
but that was
himself
the
now?
setup. That was the setup to get the grandmother to go to this hotel. Now, what does this grandma do for a living?
Dude, I
That
don't.
she can get this like penthouse suite hotel,
That was an amazing hotel. It was a huge hotel room.
busy as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, and
There
it's
was
not
people
nice out.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's
No,
not
I love
nice
when
out.
she was like, "Oh, it's really nice out." I'm like, "Where is it really nice? All I see is clouds."
I see clouds, I see cold, and then I see witches. Like
Yeah,
it is not a
it was.
nice day.
It's terrible outside. Oh, I
Yeah,
can't. And they mentioned it a couple times. Like
yeah,
Mr. Bean goes like, "Oh, it seems like the weather's clearing up." I'm like,
yeah.
when does the weather clear up?
Yeah, it's just like, oh, the winter going up. But
Why
like
was that line even in there? It didn't need to be in there.
I don't
The
know.
line.
It was so ridiculous because the other line before that, like, was when she like gets told she has diabetes. I love when the doctor goes, "Oh, she has a case of diabetes, like a
A
mild case,
case.
like she could get over it immediately. Like, oh, she just needs some bed rest and take these
She has to
pills." Like,
go. But it was great. Like the doctor prescribed her a hotel because she's like she has to go. She's
yeah,
like she has to take these pills and sit by the waterfront at
yeah,
this really expensive hotel.
yeah,
Here you go. Here's the socialized medicine that we have in England. We're just going to give you a hotel.
yeah. Go to the hotel and I don't know,
Call
be
me in
the.
the morning.
Don't
Take two
forget,
of these.
yeah, don't forget to bring your mice with you.
What? Grandma, this is what I'm saying. Grandma's tripping because grandma doesn't bat an eye about. This is like almost like Big Daddy,
Yes.
um, when Adam Sandler's like, "What do you want to call yourself?" He's like, "Frankenstein." Okay, and then he's like, "What do you want to dress like?" He's like, "This is what I'm wearing." Okay, where do you want to be here? The grandson's like, "I got two mice. We're bringing them to the hotel." Grandma's
Yeah.
like, "Cool, let's
Yeah,
do this."
cool. Just let me not forget my weed.
And then the grandmother, not learning from when she was a child to not let children run
Oh,
around randomly,
yeah.
says, "I'm gonna go take a shower. You go and explore the hotel alone." What the fuck are you talking about? Your childhood friend was killed because the parents left him out. You didn't learn shit. You lost a finger. You didn't learn shit.
Yeah.
All you're doing, smoking weed on the government's dime, you know, at the hotel. You just
Yeah.
want your grandson to go away so you could light that blunt and
Yeah.
then come back and play with their mice. He's
Yeah.
like, "I'm going to teach you how to be in a circus." She's like, "Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
great."
Yeah. You get the hell out of here, kid. Because she's the only guardian he has left. And she's just like, hey, go explore.
Yeah,
Go
go explore
explore.
the hotel and we'll have tea together. And then she starts
Mm.
talking about how great tea is in England. Like you get crumpets and this and that. And I'm like, wait, she's high as fuck. That's why she wants to go get tea. That's
Like,
what
let's
she
go
wants to
get
go get see.
dude. But anyway, he's not the only kid exploring things on his own. Everyone lets their kids run around by themselves.
Yeah, you got Mr. fucking Bruno, obsessed
Oh,
with food. This guy wouldn't stop talking about food. Even when he turned into a
weird.
fucking mouse, all about food. This
Unreal.
guy,
This guy.
dude.
But the best is when he goes to explore, and then Angelica Houston, who is the head witch, walks into the hotel. It's like, yeah, she's a witch.
Yeah,
Like,
like she just looks like a witch.
there's like nothing telling you that she's not a witch. Like she walks
Like you
in,
don't, yeah.
they're black and purple. She's just like she might as well just floated in. Like, and
Yeah,
then like all these other women around her, like freaking out, like oh,
obsessed.
like she's Taylor Swift or
Obsessed.
something. And then like she, like oh my god, and then she's like definitely a witch. Like
Yeah.
Rowan Atkinson should have been like, hey, this looks like a witch. We're gonna have to talk about this.
You look a little witchy. I'm not
Yeah,
really sure.
yeah.
I don't know if you should stay at this hotel.
There's a lot of kids running around with bad parents. I think we're gonna have to ask you to leave. Oh my
And where
god.
are they that they went to this hotel? Why is this hotel a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like I
Is
don't
this where
know.
everybody with diabetes goes?
I don't know. Her diabetes is not an issue. Like it's an issue for 1 second to get them to a hotel, and then it's just like
No,
that's
but
it.
she passes out again at the hotel
But
because she had the sugar in the tea
uh,
and
but
and she passed out.
but we know. But do you know why she passed out? Why there was sugar in her tea?
No.
Angelica Houston put it there. Because remember that scene? She's staring at Angelica Houston, right? The grandma's staring at Angelica Houston, and she's like, "Why do I know her? Or what's so weird about this?" Angelica Houston is like, "Dude, like eyeing her," and then like
Mm-hmm.
whatever she eats tastes bad, and then she drinks the tea. She's like, "Oh, there's a lot of sugar in this," and then she doesn't feel good and she passes out. That's because
Mm.
Angelica Houston, used her
Knew
witch
that
power. Yeah.
knew that she had diabetes.
Right. Well, she knew her. Like that is who she
Yeah.
knew. Like, which
You know
is
what's
like
weird? It just seems like the witches don't deal with adults. Like
no.
why didn't Angelica Houston just kill her?
That's what I'm saying. Why didn't the witches just walk into that hotel and just kill everybody immediately?
Yeah,
What's with the planning? You
I don't
have
know.
powers.
This is a very long thing.
This is like in X-Men when like Magneto and all the bad mutants or anyone's just like, all right, we need to make a plan. It's like,
No, you
why?
don't. You're a fucking mutant. You could kill everybody.
You could just kill everyone. Like just
Yeah,
go in there like goodbye.
yeah. Just crush them.
Yeah, and then
Like,
have your meeting. It's be like, oh, thank God they're all dead. Okay, let's talk about what we're gonna do now.
yeah. Like the only things we're gonna have to fight is other humans now. Like
Yeah,
not other mutants. Like humans don't stand a chance. Let's just kill them all, and then like fight amongst mutants now.
yeah, absolutely. Now, oh, okay.
Where are we in this movie?
So
First of
Grandma,
all, but like
yeah,
this
go
kind
ahead.
of goes back to this thing. First of all, um, Luke
Yeah,
kind of reminded me of Smalls.
yes.
He really liked setting up mazes and like
Oh yeah,
his like mouse maze that
was
this kid had.
insane.
Dude, he has a crazy amount of imagination and smarts.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And he takes turning into a mouse pretty fucking easy.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. And so does Bruno.
Well, Bruno is so dumb that he didn't realize he was a mouse until he was told he was a mouse. And he's just sitting there eating fucking whipped cream or
Garbage.
some shit.
Literally garbage. He's
He,
eating garbage.
this guy loved being a mouse because he could just get more and more food now. Like food is like double the size. So one grape is like size of like I don't know, full piece of steak. You know,
But like when he turned into a mouse, it's like I'm a mouse. Okay, the learning curve to being a mouse was very fast, and
very fast.
also that
He learned how to use his tail in seconds. Like
second,
you would think, like you'd be like, "Holy shit, my nose! I could smell everything." Oh,
yeah,
what are these like? What's going on with my ears? I could hear everything.
yeah,
And then this tail, I don't know what to do. This thing, like
Yeah.
How did he
Or
realize that he could do that?
I don't know. Or you would immediately die because they would should be able to crush you, and that would be the end of you. I mean, how did that not happen?
I don't know.
But like that's when like this comes out. Like first of all, Bruno is eating the edges off of all these sandwiches when Luke meets him with the mice, and he is telling him how I hope they don't put margarine on the cucumber sandwiches. They need to use butter. I'm like, bro, you do not need any more butter. Like, first of
Yeah,
all, stop eating the edges off these sandwiches. That is gross.
Bruno was also like a character from like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Was he? I think he was definitely a character from Willy Wonka. I think he definitely was.
Like he was, what's her name that turned blue?
Oh, that's right. He was just like
Because
her.
remember she couldn't stop eating,
Yeah, yeah.
or no, it was the other kid.
Was he in that movie? I don't think he
No,
was
no,
in
I'm not saying he was in that movie. I'm just saying
that.
it was like he was a character. He was Augustus. Augustus. He didn't turn blue. Augustus. I don't know. He fell into the chocolate river
Right, right, right.
because he just needed to freaking eat everything.
All right,
Fucking
his
kid
name
wouldn't
is
stop eating.
Charlie Potter,
Yeah,
and he just was in The Witches, and that's it.
yeah. Well, his character was like Augustus,
Yeah,
fucking greedy motherfucker.
yeah.
Only want to eat. Didn't stop talking. Didn't listen to anybody.
No
One of the
one.
stupidest kids ever. First of all, this witch look like lady comes up to you and promises you chocolate, and
Yeah,
you're just like, cool.
yeah. Cool. All right, come here at this time. We're gonna give you chocolates. It's like, of course you got turned into a mouse. Like this is what I'm saying. Like this is a bad lesson for children. Like this is a hard lesson. Do not take candy from children, from
Oh, dude,
witches.
the whole thing. Don't go out on yourself by yourself.
No.
Don't drink and drive. Don't take candy from strangers.
Yeah.
Don't sleep with your coworker.
Yo, that lady is dude, Mr. Bean is having this affair with this woman who looks manic the entire time.
Man, like she looks high the whole fucking time.
Yeah,
She's like like on crack,
yeah.
and they can't stop having sex.
They can't. It's insane. It's insane. I'm like, what is happening in this hotel?
What is
Like,
it? I'm like, what is the point of this scene? Like, what is the point of that side
yeah,
thing going on?
I don't know. Nothing really happens at that except for at the
Well,
end
like,
when like
except like she has like she
fur.
uses 87, which
Basic, yeah.
86, which is like 86 that.
Ah, look at you, Manny.
Yeah.
But I also had a problem with like Angelica Houston's German accent, and I'm thinking this is a whole weird Nazi thing. Like she is like some weird shit. They're gonna exterminate all the children. We're gonna have this like solution to do that, and I'm just like, oh boy, here we go. I was like, this
Yeah.
is not right. This is bad news. Like it's like she is like speaking like very loudly in a German accent, very like with a lot of expression. Everyone in the audience is losing their fucking minds. And
Yeah.
then like, this is the solution. This basically she should have just said this is our final solution. Like we're gonna
hmm
exterminate every child in the fucking like everywhere. And I'm like, oh boy. And it turns people into mice. I mean, this is like I was just weirded out by that generally. But
hmm
yeah, no, I don't know why Mr. Bean and that woman are having sex like all the time and why that has to be even a side story.
I don't know, but I no idea because you could have just made her a maid that went into that room.
Dude, you know who she looked like? She looked like the remember the physical therapist from Frasier?
Yeah,
She looked just like that woman. Just like her.
Daphne.
Yeah, Daphne.
Got it. But like going into like when the witches like take off their wigs and like get ugly,
Oh my god.
Angelica takes off
Oh,
her mask. Jim Henson, man,
holy
that
shit.
was some scary old witch.
Dude. That was the most disturbing shit ever because the other witches are only taking off like their wig.
Apparently, witches are bald.
Yeah,
It
apparently witches are
seems.
bald. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we should all know that, right? But like, but all they're doing is taking their wigs off. Angelica Houston has to take off all of her skin,
Hmm.
like not just her face. When she takes her face off, which is fucking weird, all of her skin is fucked up too. So it's like she's
Hmm.
wearing an entire skin suit.
Yeah, and she has to hold it back a lot because she apparently made a lot of money through these years. I think she doesn't get old. Well, I guess she gets old, but she always has this skin on.
I didn't understand whether she's getting old or not, but if she is, then like, did they kill someone to make that like suit of skin from her, like
Someone
Silence of the
died.
Lambs? Yeah,
Yeah, she's
yeah.
wearing someone else's like
Like
body.
that's what I thought. Like that it has to be right. Like that person has to be dead. That then they made like the Angelica Houston suit outfit
No,
for her.
no, because she had another head in that suit
Oh yeah.
in that room. She had like two heads.
Why?
That's what I want to know because it wasn't like a different face.
No, some other fucking like face. I don't know why they had two faces. But everything was creepy when they did it because it's all practical, and because
You
it's
know what
like
they could
practical
have
effects.
done with that shit is that the grandmother could have taken the face, put it on, gone to the other witches' meetings, pretend that she was her, and then killed them.
Yeah, but she's like 3 feet tall. Angelica Houston's like 12 feet tall, Manny. Like she would have walked in there and be like, "Hi," and they would be like, "That's not her." Like,
True, true,
did you
true.
notice if when they when they panned across the crowd of witches that some of them were men in wigs?
No,
Yes.
really, as like extras,
So
they
some of the
just did that.
trivia is that like some of the women in the crowd in that shot are men. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, that's a guy. Like, and that's a dude. That's a dude. I'm like,
Oh
there's like a
wow,
bunch of men in that shot. I was like, what, they couldn't afford other extras, I guess. I don't know. It was so weird
that's
because I
weird.
yeah, in the new one they're not doing that. Yes, everybody, there's a new The Witches.
It's coming out in one day.
Yeah, do you know who narrates? So the narrator's Chris Rock, which is really weird because like that means I'm not going to take this movie as seriously as anything because once
Well,
Chris
but
Rock
dude,
was
think about
narrating,
it. This is still considered a comedy. This
but it,
was considered a fantasy comedy,
yeah, but it was not that funny. It was
but it was
funny, but
scary as fuck at some points.
dude,
Like as a child, like this was like
ugh,
what PG-13.
PG.
This was PG. What,
This was PG.
dude? Those kids aren't sleeping.
No, no, because once you see a child have a seizure and turn into a mouse, like when the kids turned into mice, I was disturbed. Like
Dude, the
disturbed.
transitions that those kids go through to turn into a mice,
Yeah,
the special effects that was used to make these kids, because you know with the new one, they're going to do everything computer graphic, right? They're
yep.
not going to make this look as bad.
No.
Dude, the things, the different prosthetics that they put on these kids' faces
Yeah.
to make their rat faces, and even with the when the witches start to turn into
Yeah.
rats, like
Yeah.
that shit's going to burn into my memory tonight when I'm going to sleep. I'm
Oh,
gonna admit
dude.
it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be able to sleep tonight.
You might not. No, you probably shouldn't be able to sleep. I mean, think about how
No,
think about how fucked up it was when like that kid all of a sudden is starting to feel sick and then he's having like a literal seizure. I
yeah.
mean, when he started shaking, I was like, "Oh no, this is not good. I don't like any of this. I don't like this at all. I
You
hate this."
remind me. You remind me of that movie, The Rat, where the kid. I don't know. It was back when we were younger. Like this kid was a rat. Like he was kind of like a rat boy. What the hell is it called? Bro, I have to look at this movie. It's probably another like cult classic
Wait a
because
second. It's
this
called The
this
Rat.
movie is it's either the rat or the rat boy. I don't know, but shit
Okay.
was crazy.
The Rat Boy. Let's put that in there. See. Oh, Rat Boy from 1986.
Yes.
Holy shit, dude.
Dude,
This is
is
not
it called
right.
Rat Boy? Is it called Rat
Yeah.
Boy?
Rat Boy and the tagline. It's so hard to be different. Ellipse. Like dot dot dot. Rat Boy is a 1986 American drama film directed by and starring Sandra Locke. The makeup effects were designed by Rich Baker. The film scenario is at times comic or serious, and one of its peculiarities is that there never is any explanation for Rat Boy's origin or existence as a human rat hybrid. It was a
Bro.
critical and commercial failure.
Oh, Oh,
but
it's a terrible movie.
it received better reviews in European countries, especially France.
Of course it did.
Dude, the synopsis is so stupid.
Dude,
A
I
failed
watched this
window
movie.
dresser named Nikki overhears of a mysterious rat boy named Eugene while dumpster diving at a dump. After finding and befriending him, Nikki makes several attempts at exploiting his uniqueness to the public. At the same time, Eugene wishes to avoid public attention.
Yo, this shit is like
Wow.
fucking Elephant Man.
Oh, yes.
That's
Yes.
this movie's crazy, dude.
Dude, what? And that came out 4 years before this movie.
Dude, this movie is crazy.
What's with the obsession of turning children into rats and mice?
I don't know. I think people just wanted to use their special effects talents and like
Well,
prosthetic.
I'll say that like I'll say that Jim Henson killed it on this one.
Oh, dude, he basically was like, well, didn't he do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, the Henson Company did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that might have came out before they both came out in 1990, right?
So they were all into. They had a rat from Splinter, or vice versa. Except that rat was extremely wet all the time because he was in a suit.
And this rat at the end, the Angelica Houston rat, was
oh my god,
a fucking monster! What was that?
Monster. That's why I'm saying like they should have killed her, and then she ended up in the painting or something.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay,
wait. So
hold on. We're now on our normal tangent. We're no longer doing movie reviews where we actually go in chronological order.
Well, I feel like a lot of these movies, after a certain few that we did, it's just out of hand. This movie
I think
is crazy.
We've just done like B+ movies where it's just like these movies are just insane that they actually existed, and somebody like wrote this down and was like, first of all, let's go back to the grandmother. Okay, passes out. Boy gets caught because the grandma's like asleep.
Yeah.
Boy gets caught. They turn him into another rat. They don't kill him because they suck at stepping on clothing.
That was ridiculous. How did they not kill him?
I don't know. Then he goes and he starts talking and he's like, oh my God, I could talk. Right?
Yeah.
So that was just to tell us that he could talk. Like, so sometimes it seems like they were like purposely breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like this is like Deadpool before Deadpool. Like, it's like, grandma talked to us at one point just to explain, like, I didn't take him back to New York. We're in England now. Like, all right, great. It's like that could have been explained by Angelica just saying, you England witches suck. I'm doing the job for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So he turns into a rat. Somehow he finds Bruno. Bruno's still chomping away and only talking about food. He only goes to the grandma's room because Luke promises him that grandma has roasted almonds.
Peanuts.
That's like the two Delancey brothers, whatever, the brothers.
Oh God, Rich and Paul.
Clown. Rich and Paul only go to save her because they have big-titted roommates. Like, I'm only gonna go because you have roasted almonds.
Food is like Bruno. Is like boobs for Bruno. Like for like Rich and Paul. Like that's what it is. Like he's like, oh, there's roasted peanuts. Great,
sure.
Like let's go risk our lives walking around as mice that no one sees for some reason in the hotel.
And there's a lot of people in this hotel. There's more people in every hallway. Like, if the hallway was that busy in all the hotels that I've ever stayed at, I'd have to complain because how are you sleeping?
Dude,
because those walls aren't airtight.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, the sound is coming from everywhere. Plus, like, I want to know how he got up to the room. Like, I know he took the elevator, but serendipitously, like, the button was pushed so that they were on the floor that he was supposed to get out of. He's like, when he was in the elevator, and he goes, "This is it." I'm like, what? Like, how did he? And instead of running out, these two idiots who have been running around, not disguised because they're just mice, decide to run out of the elevator, they have to be in a bag. So
Yeah,
instead of it
because like
being
you
mice,
wouldn't be like, what the fuck is that bag moving for?
yeah, exactly. If I saw a bag moving, I'd be like, we definitely have to kill what's ever in that bag. I'm like,
There's a
that's not
monster
good.
there. This is like it goes back to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when like
Yeah.
Raphael's just walking around in town. Like you could be monsters in the '90s, and it didn't matter. Like
Nothing matters. Nothing matters because like everyone is just crazy looking. So everything is just like, oh, that's a bag moving.
But
Sure.
let's just also remember we're analyzing a movie where two boys are now talking as rats
Yeah, they're two talking
or
mice.
mice.
Yeah.
They're talking
Right.
mice.
Yeah. Which
Did he end it? How did
yeah.
he end up telling his other two white mice? What happens to them?
So remember at the end I guess the good witch
Oh,
brings
she
them
returns
back.
them. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Which we have to talk about the ending because there's a real problem with that. Like something happens in the ending which
Oh, yes. There's a
I
major problem. Oh,
don't
I saw it. I saw it.
I don't know if you were okay, yeah. It's out.
It's out. It's fucking out. Whatever underwear they put on, that shit was out. That's why I was like, how is this PG?
Why why did we need to see that? Couldn't
I
he
don't
just like
know.
couldn't he just
You
like
didn't need to see that.
we didn't need to see that. He didn't
You
need
could
to fly out of this fucking Ghostbusters house. And he had more toys. Is the grandma putting all that together at the end? So now the kid's a mouse. The grandmother has to put together an elaborate
Legos.
system, pulley systems, tunnels, like
Yeah.
train systems. They bring the mailman comes at the end, and and the
Yeah.
mouse goes, "Hey, grandma, is that it?" That guy should have been like, "What the fuck?" She had to build all that. She put holes in her wall, and like, oh my god. Uh, uh.
Oh my. All right.
Okay.
Let's calm down.
First of all,
Calm down.
that kid chooses
All
the
right.
worst hiding spot ever.
Okay. So wait. He gets inside the room.
Yeah.
First of all, they pass what seems to be about 20 mousetraps that are now out in the open because somebody, the grandmother tricked them into accusing that the whole hotel has
Right.
mice everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So there's got an exterminator is setting mousetraps with cheese. This would have been a great time for Bruno to go over to grab the cheese,
How did? Yeah.
and Luke then say, "We can't eat the cheese,"
Yeah. They didn't
or
do
like,
that.
Bruno like sets the trap and like Luke saves him.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. No. That was so weird.
because I'm like, that's what I thought that's what they were going to do because he was so obsessed with fucking food that
Yeah.
he wouldn't be able to say no to it.
Yeah, but he totally was able to.
Yeah,
What
I
was
thought I was
funny?
watching a live action of like Ratatouille.
Oh yeah. What was funny was like when they were putting the traps out, I was just like, they're not even hiding. And this guy's like, yeah, and it's like right in the middle of the floor. If I'm a patron of that hotel and I see a guy putting like mouse traps out, I'm like,
Yeah,
get your bag. You're getting the fuck out of here. Are you kidding
yeah,
me?
and again, it's not like it was an empty hotel. There
No.
was like businessmen walking around.
Yeah.
Somebody was always doing something.
Yeah.
Mr. Bean's fooling around with the waitress. It was crazy. So they get into the room. She's looking for Bruno. She's looking for Luke. She comes inside. This is what I'm saying. This is it. We're watching this woman's trip. A mouse is talking to her. She reacts as if this is normal.
Yeah. She's like, oh,
She's okay with this.
yeah.
She goes, "Oh no, let's
no.
leave. Let's leave."
Oh no.
Doesn't want to do anything else.
Nope.
Let's
Not at
leave.
all.
Bruno, on the other hand, asks for the fucking almonds.
Yeah. I mean, he is just the worst. Like, he doesn't give a shit about anything.
No,
All
he
they
does
care
not
about is
even
not going to
care.
school.
He does not. Yeah.
These two kids are like, hey, at least we don't have to go to school. I'm like, you're a fucking mouse. You're gonna like, you have what, 4 years left of life? Like,
He didn't even know that. He asked the grandma, like, how long do mice get to live for?
yeah. She's like, oh, I don't know. You know.
And at the end, he's like, I'm okay with being a mouse. I just want to let you know.
Yeah. And she's just like, oh, I fucked up. I'm the worst guardian of all time.
She's the worst. The worst guardian. She's high as hell. She starts to build a freaking erector set in her fucking house for her mouse. Her mouse,
Oh, oh
fucking
God. I
terrible.
I think like what was funny was when now Luke really wants to kind of like figure out how to defeat these witches. You're a mouse. I don't know how you're going to do that. But what's funny is the grandma doesn't do a goddamn thing to
But she
help
helped.
at all. She lowers him in a sock
Yeah, which was terrible.
and distracts a cat that sounds like a panther with
Yeah,
a sock. And
yeah.
then after that, he has to go into the kitchen. He has to do all this stuff. She's just sitting there like,
Dude,
okay,
but tell me the kitchen scene, is it one of
gross.
the most, it's, first of all, it's gross, but it's so suspenseful when he's walking through everything and he's
Yeah.
taking the ride over and like
Mhm.
you only hear, it's almost as if you went to see Stomped on Broadway, on off Broadway, because all you hear is like, you just hear the kitchen noise.
Oh my
And
god.
that's another thing. So like this movie was very basic, and it had to be because it was rated PG. It was probably only geared to like 6 years old to like 14. So it
I'm
had
not
to be
showing a
very
6-year-old this.
no.
They scared the shit out of them. It's like, oh, watch this amazing movie about witches, and it's like kids having
It's a
seizures.
comedy.
Kid is having seizures. It turns into a mouse.
Wait, here's the thing. It's supposed to be comedy. Where's the slapstick in it?
I was trying to figure that out. I didn't know where the jokes were. I mean, I feel like some of the slapstick jokes maybe were like when Angelica Houston is talking to Bruno's dad, which
Oh
what the fuck is
my
going on
god.
with Bruno's parents? But
What
like,
an asshole.
dude,
I'm gonna say
amazing,
it. Fuck being PG. That guy is an asshole.
terrible, hitting on a witch in front of his wife.
Yeah. And all they want to do is drink. So Bruno is addicted to sugar, and his parents are alcoholics.
Total alcoholics. The mom must be blasted all the time to have to live with that douche.
Oh
And
my
like
god, he's such a douche.
every time Angelica Houston says the word children or something, it looks like she's gonna throw up. I guess
Yeah,
that's the joke. But what was
yeah,
funny was like her assistant puts a bowl up to her mouth. So is she supposed to throw up in that bowl just in case? And like, so you're
yes,
carrying a vomit bowl with you?
yes.
Like, that's not normal. And then the dad's just sitting there like, oh, okay, that's normal. She almost threw up and she's holding the
No,
vomit
he puts
bowl.
money in it because he thinks it's because like they're raising money for the children.
Fucking vomit bowl.
Dude, but there wasn't any like slapstick joke
No.
except if you want to laugh at the fact that the grandma's a fucking cuckoo bird.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be the joke. Mr. Bean getting it on with the hotel
Yeah, because they're like, "Is she
working
high?"
the
And he's
hotel.
like, "No, she's been with me." I mean, what? No, and I'm
Yeah,
like, but there was never like when I'm thinking about like PG
yeah,
comedy.
yeah.
There was no PG comedy in this. This was
No.
just a PG horror film
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it was suspenseful. There was, scenes that dragged on, and your body was like, remember when he got Formula 86 and he has to go under the rug and like he's running around and the feet are coming and like the men are talking about business for some reason
Yeah.
and they step right on him, but they like the shoe isn't crushing
Dude,
him.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why wasn't he freaking out? Like, I mean, it's like you're like,
That's what I'm saying. Like to me, it was just a very suspenseful kid movie. It
yeah,
wasn't comedy,
no, no. But
you know? And then the part with the baby,
holy shit, dude. That was bugged out.
that was crazy.
when she pushes the baby carriage, Angelica usually pushes that baby carriage down the hill to kill the baby, basically, or get Luke or whatever it was. You also see all these other women who are all witches. So I'm like,
Yeah.
how many witches are here?
Oh, they're all of them from England are there.
God damn, it was just like insane. And like, this poor child, this poor baby. First of all, if you push a baby carriage down a hill like that in England, guess what? That thing is falling over immediately. That thing would not have made it that far. It would have just been like, well, goodbye, baby out of the carriage, done, right?
Yeah.
But that was creepy because I forgot about that part in the movie. But it was just so weird. I was like, oh shit, watch this. And I forgot that like even Luke saved that baby. I thought, I was like, oh, we actually gonna see a baby get killed now? Like I was like, because but I was gonna put nothing past this film. You killed a kid in the beginning, put him in a painting. You killed the kid's parents immediately. Then the grandma is like a stoner, and then
Smoking a
you,
blunt.
yeah, you turn one kid into a mouse in the most violent way I've ever seen. Then killing a baby would have been like whatever. Of course, a baby gets killed in this 1990 PG film.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
you know what's funny? You're talking about slapstick, right? The same year, Home Alone comes out as well, and that's
Of
PG.
this movie?
1990, Home Alone came out in 1990,
Okay.
and that's
This
PG.
movie is nowhere close to that kind of comedy.
No, not at all, not at all. So like,
No.
I don't know where the real comedy part is here. And the only thing I could guess is that because Roald Dahl did not write a funny story in 1983 or whatever, how much more could you add to be funny, right? I think, were really close to the book. I think this story is pretty
I think
close.
they're pushing the comedy genre. I think that's like pushing what category it should have been in. This should just be a spooky movie.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a dark. I mean, I would say it's a dark comedy, like they said, like it's a dark fantasy
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the other things that this guy directed, oh my God, it's so weird. Dude, okay. He directed, I don't know if you watched this film or read the book in high school, Walkabout. He,
Yeah.
he directed that in
Okay.
1971. He directed a lot of Roger Waters short videos, like Roger Waters from Pink Floyd. So
Hmm.
he directed a bunch of those, which are not funny. The Witches, Cold Heaven, the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. He did one episode of that. Then he did a bunch of erotic stuff, Full Body Massage, which is a TV movie, Erotic Tales Volume 3, The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones. He did an episode of that. He did a lot of Indiana Jones stuff. So he had a really odd career, it seems like, but nothing funny. I mean, I don't see anything really funny that he did.
Well, he's not really good at it. So,
No, everything was creepy that
but
he
it was
did.
creepy. But the sets were. I gotta say, man,
Yeah.
the sets were done well.
Mm-hmm.
When they're in the kitchen and the scene where like the chef he goes up the chef's
Oh,
pants. I guess that could have been comedy because notice how he won't stop mixing the bowl, and then Mr. Bean comes in and
yeah.
he's freaking out about having it, and then they set the traps around him. Like
Yeah.
that's all like a little comedy,
And
right?
that guy, he's from Downton Abbey. He's one of the stars of Downton Abbey, that chef.
So I thought that was great, and again, when the witches drink all of it and they have the transformations, the
Holy,
amount of work that had to go into choreograph all of that,
amazing.
amazing.
Amazing. Like that's what I mean. Like this director didn't do anything funny, but he definitely directed quite an amazing film. And the editor of this film also amazing editing for this film. Everything,
Yeah.
cinematography, all of it was really great. That scene in this kitchen, I think you're right. That probably is the most slapstick funny stuff that they do. And I believe they probably relied on the Rowan Atkinson part of it to be funny, because he's Mr. Bean,
Hmm.
but excuse me, they didn't really write him that many funny lines. But he did have this weird joke with the chef where I feel like he like said that he like basically told the chef he had a small dick or something. Other than
Yes.
that, I don't.
Yes, he said
Other
that there was nothing there. in the first place or something like that, or
Yeah,
there's nothing
so yeah,
really there.
yeah.
So
It's just like
yeah,
that definitely was like the funny part, I think, of the film. But other than that, I think this film was much more just well done and it was just fucking scary as fuck.
it was scary. Um, we keep skipping around, but he finally gets potion 86
Yeah.
after the most dramatic like thing with the cat. Bruno is in this purse, and the grandma believes that it's going to be okay to tell these asshole parents that he's had a transformation. And you could tell Luke was like, Grandma, I don't think this is a good idea. And she shuts Luke up. Luke was like, Grandma, do not do this. This is embarrassing. You're high as fuck. And you're going to go tell these guys that their son has turned into a rat. Now, the mother loses her shit when she sees the rat.
That woman is
And
amazing.
and everyone else is laughing at her in the lobby. No
Yeah.
one else comes and sees what this like. No one freaks out.
Hmm.
People are still walking by like it's not happening.
Yeah.
Some people are just looking and laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
What
It was so weird.
is happening in this hotel?
Yeah, it feels like everyone is drugged in this hotel. Like
Like no
maybe
one reacts to anything.
no, no, no one. No one reacts to anything. And it's not even that she freaks out. She screams like the grandmother had like Bruno's head in her pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just like he went through a transformation and he pulls out Bruno. She would like pull out Bruno's head, and then she would scream.
Yeah,
She screamed like that, but it was just like, yeah, there's a mouse in my bag. She freaked out like that because there was a mouse in the bag.
yeah. Mouse in the bag. No one else responds. No manager comes in. It's like, what is happening here? What is happening?
Of course, dude, Mr. Bean is busy. He's busy getting it on. He's the manager.
Yeah. And
There's
then
no one
there's
in
this.
charge.
Then there's a weird scene that the girl that he's hooking up with goes into the room
Yeah.
to make the bed in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
and like
No one does their jobs at this hotel.
sees Formula 86 and like starts spraying and using it as a cologne
Yeah.
or perfume. Why?
That's what makes me weirded out about hotels, but at the same time, it's like, one, it's nighttime. Why are you going in there? Are you doing like turn down service? This hotel does not look like it does that because this hotel doesn't even look like it's running really well at all. It's
It's
lucky
just busy.
it's just people coming in and being there. I feel like it's just like people occupying it. And then it's
Yeah,
just like, I don't know, should we stay? I don't know. Let's just remain in the lobby, I guess. And
everyone.
then, oh, that bag is running across the floor. Anyway, like it's a nice day out. Let's go walk around.
This woman looks like a witch. What's
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah, what's going on here? Oh, is that a zucchini roll or whatever the fuck they were eating? I don't know what that kid was
And
eating.
then what was the point of all of a sudden she tells her staff secretary to go up to the room?
I don't understand that at all. Like, I feel like she really was like abusive to this woman, but I feel like there was a whole story that we weren't getting too much of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't understand that. She told her to go upstairs. Like, why? Like, because she wasn't allowed to eat soup with them or something?
She's like, this is not for staff members. But I'm like, but that woman's a witch. Like everyone
Yeah,
else is a witch.
yeah. I didn't get that. That part
Neither did I.
really did not make sense to me at
It
all.
was all just to set up the ending.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then she's like, I quit. And she was just like angry about it.
Yeah. The
And she was
grandmother,
dressed in white, if you don't recall.
I
So
think after that,
the whole movie,
she
she
was
was
white.
white and what's her name was black. So it was always going to be that she was going to be the good witch.
It was like she was after that going to go to Oz or something.
Yes. I was like, is this supposed to be the Wicked Witch and her sister who gets crushed by Dorothy?
Yeah, yeah. I was
Like
like, yeah.
she
Like
drives
you
away
could
on a Mercedes and then
have,
goes to Oz.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I was just like, this woman has an amazing. She also, I looked her up, that actress. she has had one of the most extensive careers. She has like 122 credits. Like it's
Jesus.
unbelievable. Yeah, she's just like she killed it. Like she's just like doing everything. She's amazing,
She did
amazing.
not kill that last scene though. It was weird. What a weird scene, the last scene.
I don't. That's the scene that I feel like I remember most about her. There's something about her. I remember her
'Cause she's
mostly
like
in that movie.
giggly in that scene.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I feel like her hair is now attached to her. Like she looked better. She looked better in that scene.
So if you
She looked like
become
more glowy.
so if you become a good witch, the
Her hair
roots
goes attached. Yeah.
grab onto the hair.
Yes.
And also, it was weird how like when she at the end when she looked at her hand,
Yeah.
like is she like, oh, I was always a powerful witch? I didn't get that part. But I was also reeling from the other part of it that I just didn't, of that ending. So I didn't really like was able to like really take in what was happening at all because of the
No. Yeah,
ridiculous.
we'll bring that up. So anyway, so he gets the idea of perfectly putting the whatever. He spills the bottle in. That's a crazy scene. They drink it. The old lady then goes back to like they figure out at 8:15 she's gonna knock down glass and perfectly know that Mr. Bean is gonna go get a fucking broom
Well,
where he's gonna hide in.
yeah.
And that's how he's gonna get back to grandma. Because he couldn't just walk through the hotel again.
Dude, I did not understand that part of the plan.
Yeah. That's why he kept saying she said 8:15, 8:15. So at 8:15 she knocks over the glass and he had to be in that fucking broom
Dustbin, yeah.
dustbin by 8:15 because for some reason she knew that there was a red dustbin
Uh,
in the kitchen.
can I tell you,
And
that was the only part of the movie that I felt like there was just a weird like logic gap because I was like, wait a second.
so
How
somehow
there's one broom and one pan like for this whole
that's
hotel?
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's definitely a storage closet that has like 50 brooms.
They're a business.
They're a business.
It's like they should be everywhere.
This kid realized his whole plan. And you remember he gets freaking the chef chops off his fucking tail.
That's right. Yeah.
I thought they were gonna bring that up on like like later on, like his like back is all fucked up because someone like cut his tail, you know?
Later
When
on
he
after the
became like
transformation.
yeah. That's what we're actually seeing when he's jumping. So yeah. So then everyone's turning into rats. No one really knows how to kill rats.
Oh
Like
my god.
they're like throwing them.
That was my favorite part. Mr. Bean takes the fucking mouse and he's like, "Wah!" He's just like tosses it.
And then the crazy part, like at the end of the movie, after like there's people playing soccer outside,
Dude, this all
and they're all
happened,
still coming back into the hotel that just had a rat infestation.
and not even that, a rat massacre. But not even that. People turned into mice in front of everybody, and everyone's like, all right, kill them. It's like,
Yeah,
wait a second. Kill what? The people that just turned into mice. I'm running the fuck out of here. I'm not killing anything.
yeah,
I'm finding the first boat off what looks like an island, and I'm getting the hell out of here now. Because Rowan Atkinson is running around with a butcher knife. This is how
yeah.
he should have. There should have been collateral damage. Someone should have gotten hurt. He's like waving a knife around, trying to
That's how he
kill
kills
them,
mice.
chopping them up.
He chops up the head witch, and then
Oh,
old lady grandma gives Bruno back to his parents.
yeah,
The mom's out of her mind at this
yeah,
point, right? Bruno's just like, hey, don't have to go to school again. See you guys later. That's it. That's what you leave with. Like
yeah.
you
I gotta
guys
go.
just had this like traumatic, like you just found out witches exist
Yeah,
in this world,
yeah.
and you're like, guess it's our son now. The father all of a sudden changes. Like it's our baby boy.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's over.
what?
He's a
You just
mouse.
watched a bunch of women turn into rats.
Yeah.
People were killing them. One of them green smoke came out of him. Old lady that looks like, the old lady from freaking Poltergeist.
Yes.
Fucking is like giving you this thing and she bounces. She's like, I guess it's time to go home. We're
But yeah,
leaving.
but that's what I mean. It was one night. That means it was an overnight trip.
Yeah, she no longer has diabetes.
Yeah, this is an overnight trip, and all of this happened in less than what? Then like less than 15 hours? Like what? This happened in 12 hours?
Yeah. Then he comes up with the plan of mailing her the grandmother the money.
Who
Right?
wrote that?
He did.
He wrote the luggage tag? This kid has been a mouse for what? Like 10 hours? He can now write in perfect penmanship and address.
Dude, he was a genius. And he was like, Grandma, I'll be right back, right? He says, Grandma, I'll be right back. So that means Grandma, again, lets him run around the hotel.
I know. She's like, okay, goodbye.
See you later. Haven't learned my lesson. Haven't learned my lesson. I'll be in the car.
I'll be a hot box in the car. Come out soon. This woman is the worst guardian ever. A mouse. Your son, your grandson, first of all, has written a luggage tag. So that's the first question. Two, he then goes, hey, Grandma, I'll be right back. And you're just like, okay, you just fought a witch. You just had a whole battle of witches. And you're just like, yeah, go ahead. I got to go. A witch was staring her down. The grandmother was giving a speech. For what reason? You've done nothing. Do not act like the hero. She's acting like Van Helsing. She's like, you were better. And Angelica Houston's just walking towards her like, She then turns into the scariest thing I've ever seen. And then, like, everyone is in that hotel just like, huh.
Yeah. The next day, people are still coming in. Boys are playing soccer. There's 2 soccer games going on because there's 2 different people with soccer things. The exterminators pull up. Yeah. Grandma drives away. Good witch is staring. Yeah. Right? And then now...
She's probably staring because she can't read the luggage tag because it was written by a mouse. She's probably like, what the fuck is this? I hate this. This is bullshit.
I gotta find out where this motherfucker lives now.
Yeah. Like, why? Like, you don't owe him anything.
Nothing.
I just want to, like, keep thinking about how, like, Angelica Houston turns into a monster mouse, and Rowan Atkinson, she puts her in a jar, and then she goes, oh, look at that one. What do you mean, look at that one? Everyone should have seen what just happened. This whole hotel should be filled with green smoke.
First of all,
75 women turned into mice.
You just watched, and Angelica's like real self came out. So you watched a witch appear, and then turn into a witch rat. Yeah. And then you killed it, and green smoke happened, and you just like moved on to the next thing.
Yeah, all these things have green blood.
Yeah, and like, how is it that there's no like newspaper coming out like the existence of witches has been proven?
Witches are real. The whole newspaper should just be about witches after that. There should be no other news.
And they should be, and the kids, and the grandmother should be on the news with the kid and warning everybody that witches are around, and then tell her story that they have purple eyes. Yeah, they fucking don't like the smell of kids.
That's right.
And
they're trying to kill everyone.
They're trying to kill all the kids.
Yeah.
And put them into paintings.
Yeah. Get rid of your paintings.
She should not just be telling the story to her grandson. Instead, so they decide to go back. She's smoking another blunt, it seems. She lets the kid build the craziest mouse trap game.
There is no way that he built that. She had to do it. She had to listen to him go, now put that thing to there and together there, cut a hole in the wall there. But like our kid, I'm putting you in a cage. Like, you're not getting an erector set. Like, I'm not putting this together. I am high. I am putting you
Yeah.
in a cage.
And then like she's about to go to bed and
Yeah.
he has to say, yeah, like, oh, you know, grandma, it's okay that I turned into a rat. And she's like, can't go to sleep. And she's like,
But
hopefully a good witch
before that, before that, the Louis Vuitton trunk comes filled
with
with fucking money.
money to
Yeah.
go to America. He's still obsessed with to go to America.
But to go to America to kill witches.
Oh, so that, yeah,
That's
he's
right.
obsessed with it. This
Yeah.
kid's a freaking maniac.
Yeah.
A
So
9-year-old kid who wants to kill things.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So now that's what I mean. They've become like Blade or like Van Helsing or like some sort of group that is like going to kill witches in the United States, which is crazy because like the grandmother is the worst at this of all
Yeah, she's
time.
not that good at it.
No,
Like,
no.
he should now hope to turn human because being a mouse has helped him like get around without being seen.
Yes.
When he's a kid, they're gonna smell him.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't have anything to turn them into
Unless he
anymore.
just doesn't shower ever. Like there should be a Witches 2, like Witches 2 Coming to America.
Eddie Murphy's in it.
They go to Queens.
They go to Queens. There's a lot of witches.
Or they just go to Salem,
Oh,
right? And he
yeah.
shows up there, hasn't showered in a month.
But how are they going to kill these witches, dude? They don't have the Formula 8.
The formula anymore.
Right.
No.
So what are they going to do? Stab them?
I don't know.
Like they're going to have
Then my
bipeds.
question is the good witch gonna help like fight against these witches?
Fuck that
Like
shit.
why is she leaving in the car?
To
Like
go
why
help
isn't she?
Bruno. Remember, he's like, don't forget Bruno.
Yeah, but then she was like happy to leave
Yeah, because
into
she's
this.
a
She looked like she was about to go into like a Whitesnake video.
dude. You love Whitesnake, I swear.
No, she's just thinking about it. Like she's like going in the distance. Like there's this like
And
glowing light. She's wearing white. She might as well have been wearing a leather jacket.
yeah, and then she goes and like then she's in Grease too.
Sure,
Like,
Michelle Pfeiffer takes over her role.
exactly. Like that woman then goes to Grease too. She becomes Michelle Pfeiffer, and there we go.
So we're gonna talk about the awkward scene.
Do we have
Yeah. So grandma's about to go to bed.
to?
Says, "Oh, I hope we find a good witch."
Yeah.
Yet the good witch finds him, and I want to know why she turned into a good witch, or was she always a good witch? Like I thought she would like turn into queen witch.
I think she's just her own witch now. I don't know. I
Okay.
think she's just like some sort of rogue witch that's just like, well, I'm a witch now. Whatever. Maybe that's
But
how
like
they start. Harry Potter.
I think like she should lead the charge of like killing the bad witches, right? Because she's got apparently her hand can do anything.
Well,
So
maybe
she
that's why
puts a
it's green.
spell on him. That was the weirdest scene because the graphics were terrible. You know, he's growing,
Yeah.
breaks the freaking Lego machine, and
Yeah.
hurls
Is
while
hurl.
wearing what seems like he's wearing nude panties.
Dude, the kid was naked. Let's be honest.
was-
Like the kid was naked. Okay, that was the most disturbing thing I have ever seen. The whole movie, I'm disturbed. I'm like, all right, it's a horror fantasy film for PG, right? Then a kid breaks out of the Ghostbuster house, which he was living in the Ghostbuster house, and he's naked.
Yep. Why did they need to show that?
What? I don't know. Why
And
did I have
he's-
to see the whole kid
And
come
he does
out?
like a cartwheel.
Yeah, I don't know. And then the grandma wraps him in a towel, I guess, but not before he stands naked in a window to wave at the other witch. Hey! Why were they naked? Why was he naked? This is so weird. I was like, no.
Do
We
you
gotta
think he's
stop this.
upset that he's now a human boy?
Well, he's got to go back to school now,
Yeah.
unless he talks his grandma into being like, look, let's just be a witch hunter. Let's just be witch hunters.
I mean, they have the money now. He doesn't have to go to school.
Dude, if I found out that the world was filled with witches when I was a kid or whatever, I was turned into a mouse, and then I was turned back into a kid by a witch. I would look at my grandma and be like, "Look, fuck school. The world, nothing matters. You think algebra matters now? I mean, there
No, the
are
world is
witches out there.
fucking. There's witches killing kids.
We need to do something. School doesn't matter anymore."
He needs to turn into like Bruce Wayne and start like buying, like, yeah, turn into a Batman who kills witches. This is the beginning of Batman.
So she's Alfred. Well,
No,
kind of. I mean, think about it.
kind
Like his
of.
parents get killed.
Yes.
He has a guardian who's, whatever, and he has a whole
And his
origin
parents
story.
already had money.
It seemed like it, but their house sucked.
Where?
Wasn't that their house that they were staying at? Was that the grandmother's house? Whose house were they in?
They were visiting the grandmother.
Oh, she lived in
And
that
then when she
hovel.
moved to the private school, they were in that big fucking house, which
Oh,
was
so
his parents' house.
wow, dude, every kid was rich. He was rich. Bruno was rich.
Bro, I'm telling you, this may tie into a Batman story, because they're a rich family,
Yeah,
parents die,
yeah.
probably
She's
get
Alfred.
killed by the Joker. She's Alfred.
Yeah.
They go back to America. He's now obsessed with bats
Okay.
to kill witches.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
gonna kill witches. He's Batman Van Helsing.
Well, think of it too. He builds all that shit, right? So he has like a really like insane like imagination. Bruce
Yes.
Wayne builds all sorts of stuff. He's a genius. He's
Yeah.
like basically the most genius, like best detective in the world, and he has all this technology and he has all this money. They have like that whole trunk filled with money. He can invest that immediately and
Yeah.
become a billionaire, and then just be Batman and just kill witches. Holy
That's
shit!
right. He's gonna have bulletproof vests and everything. That reboot, fuck the reboot. Let's make Witches 2 coming to America. Eddie Murphy could be like the evil witch guy. Like,
So now we're changing it up.
why not?
What if?
What a ridiculous movie. But I gotta say,
Oh,
I actually enjoyed this.
oh yeah. I loved this
It was
movie.
fun.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
fun. It was the perfect amount of spookiness for a PG movie. I think I liked it for many reasons, and it was because the set design was great.
Yeah.
The suspense and like all the cuts and shots
Oh,
were
amazing.
just done well.
Yeah.
Like, it was a good story. It was so simple. Grandma tells a story about witch. Parents die. Grandma takes over. Witches try to kill him. He gets away. They go to a hotel. He turns into a rat. He finds that all he has to do is feed him poison. Somehow does that. Gets turned back into a kid. End of story. But they just made it and told it really well.
Absolutely. And I think I have to give credit to like Roald Dahl. I mean, the writer of the story, the author of the book. I mean, he's like, thank God that story. But like, I'm worried now about the reboot because I watched the trailer
Ugh.
and there just seems a lot of added stuff. It's like a lot of added narrative. It seems like weird added narratives. The way they make the witch, like her face, she has like the venom mouth, like almost she's like they make him like Venom, and I'm like, that's not. I mean, she looks like Lady Gaga. Like they literally made her look like Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why are they doing this? I understand you want to reboot something. I'm all for it. That's fine. Do what you got to do, but know that there's like source material that the film has a certain spookiness and there it is, a certain like darkness that has to remain,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that comes with practical effects. What I'm learning from this podcast is that the films that we're looking at that have all these practical effects, Killer Clowns had amazing practical effects. I'm gonna give it that. It looked crazy. Horrible film.
Mm-hmm.
But like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the practical effects of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were so effective that everything lived in the world.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to CGI everything to death, it just becomes too like out of hand. It just becomes too stylized.
To me, you can't fully get into the world and suspend your disbelief.
That's right.
Right.
I mean, after
Like I saw the part of the trailer.
Yeah.
And right away, like, what's her name walks in, and Hathaway walks in and is like, "What would you do
Yeah.
if there was rats?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "I would kill them, of course."
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, that
And
made
then,
it happen.
and then, like, if you're saying that they're gonna look like kind of like Venom, the problem with Venom is that they made him look like Venom. Like there was no, it was like too CGI'd, and you
Yeah.
can't forget that it's CGI'd. Like I loved that she looked so evil because it was like the prosthetics were perfect.
Oh,
You know?
it was like, you know, when like the movie Labyrinth, the,
Yes. Did he do that?
who? Jim Henson?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'll look that up right now, but I feel like when you have a movie that's like gonna have these types of effects, when the actors have something to like, yep, directed by Jim Henson.
Yeah.
So in 1986, so Jim Henson directed that. That's a PG fantasy musical. Also creepy, has some very weird, you know, weird shit going on there between David Bowie and that underage girl as well, and the characters. I mean, in that film, that maybe we'll do that for an episode because that's a really weird film. But I feel like you have that too. Anytime people are living in things, I feel like that's why the Muppets were so successful, and that's why, like, imagine CGI Muppets. I mean, that would be really fucking weird.
No, it's not good.
Now, that's why, like, superhero movies where there's not a lot of CGI, I like. Like, I mean, he's not a superhero, but like, the Punisher works because he's a dude who kills people. What are you CGIing, right?
Exactly.
You know, he doesn't have to turn into anything. He's not the Ghost Rider. He's not, anything like that. In which, they really failed at Ghost Rider. I don't know how you fail at making and like taking a comic that has all the elements involved and you fuck that thing up.
Dude,
Um,
that was terrible, terrible CGI.
I refuse to watch it. I saw the trailer. And I'm like, nope, nope, not seeing this. I mean, but they do that. I mean, Spawn, when they did Spawn, they fucked that movie up too.
They did.
That was terrible.
I'm watching the new trailer.
It's terrible.
Oh, I see what you're saying with her face, her smile.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's like goofy.
yeah.
It reminds me of like Amelie. What was it? It was it that what was that
Oh, that
called?
French film with
The
the
French
yeah,
film.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just don't know why they're doing it, and they're making her less menacing. Like Angelica Houston is like, I'm not afraid of Anne Hathaway. As soon as
No.
Angelica Houston walked into the hotel, I was like, I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of her. She looks like she would kill someone.
Yes.
Um, but what's funny is like the other people, dude, that were up for this part were Cher, Eartha Kitt, Fiona Fullerton, Genevieve Bujold, Helen Mirren, Anne Bancroft, Olivia Hussey. Who Olivia Hussey, if you don't know her, she was in that version of Romeo and Juliet that maybe you saw in high school. That I saw it in high school. Sigourney Weaver, Linda Blair, Faye Dunaway, Susan Sarandon, Jodie Foster was up for her part, Vanessa
What?
Redgrave, yeah, Frances Conroy, and which my favorite, Liza Minnelli. So we could have had a Liza Minnelli, the witches, and also Cher could have been in it as well. So all these
Cher would have
people,
been good.
I think Cher and I think for me it would have been really hilarious to have Liza Minnelli because she's so like fucking Liza Minnelli. Like she's like, wow, that would have
Yeah.
been amazing. But I feel like anyone on that list probably would have killed this part. And when you think of that list and you're just like Anne Hathaway now, it's just like it doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense.
And they have 3 rats in the preview.
There are 3 kids in this one.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand. So they add someone.
Okay.
I just think the only one in that list that probably would have been weird would have been Jodie Foster. I couldn't see Jodie Foster playing that part.
No.
It would have been really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they chose her perfectly.
Oh, Angelica Houston was amazing. I mean,
She didn't even have to take the mask off.
No, even if she didn't turn into a crazy old witch like that crazy, like I still would have been like, that's a witch. She's a witch.
Yeah, she's a witch.
100%. She's 100% a witch.
They could have
Um,
made this really freaky.
yeah, if this was PG-13, if they just upped it to PG-13, right? In 1990, like I'm thinking like if this is a 1990 PG, then a 1990 PG-13, I mean, I can't even imagine what the fuck that is,
Mm-mm.
right? I mean, it would have been,
There would have definitely been like more killing,
yeah, there, yeah, absolutely. There would
not
have
of
been,
like splatter of mouse, but like
yeah,
more. I think there would have been a little bit of blood,
yeah, I
and you
think,
probably would have seen like Mr. Bean kiss the,
oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah, there would have been some weird, like, Mr. Bean, that woman sex scene or something,
yeah.
which that would have been
But
disturbing. Maybe that would have made it an R.
I still don't understand why they like the. I guess was that supposed to be a joke that like now she is like hairy, like
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. Even that chef that turned into a mouse, which was kind of funny.
yeah.
Yeah. Whew, Manny.
All right, bro. We're coming to it. It's the
Yeah,
test.
yeah.
Here we go. I'll go first.
Go
I
for it.
definitely was excited to watch this because when you had told me the witches, I was like, "What is he talking about?" And then I saw the preview. I was like, "Wow, I haven't seen this in forever." And I was like, "This is going to be stupid." And I actually thoroughly enjoyed this movie. For a PG movie,
Yeah,
the special effects scared me, and I'm going to be a grown man saying they were fucking. They it looks real and the story's great. It's kind of like it's gonna be weird to even bring this up, but I enjoyed it like I enjoy comics who don't curse.
oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's like
Because I
what? Yeah.
think when you watch a comic that doesn't curse, he has to do really well to
Mm,
work around all that and the
yeah.
little nuances
Mm,
for even when he's telling a dirty joke.
right. Yeah.
Right. When they don't curse and they can make you laugh that well, I feel like they're doing so much work. And I feel like this movie could have been PG-13. It could have been R, slasher, killing, just whatever. This was PG and they needed to make you scared by one, the actual special effects, and two, the suspense of the scene, of the
Yeah.
story, how long something went on for, how you were like, oh my God, is he going to drop the bottle? Or is the cat going to get him? Is this going to happen? Is this? And like, you were just like watching it and I wasn't bored. I was
No.
like hanging on till the
Yeah.
next scene. Like, grandma's just doing this, just telling the story, and like, where's this going? And you know it's going to be bad, but you're just waiting. So
Yeah.
I thought it was great. So it definitely passes the test.
Mm.
It is a movie that I did not think was going to pass the test. I thought it was just going to stay nostalgic, and I'm going to say it passed the test.
Wow. Yeah. I like this idea about like how it's thinking about comedians that don't curse, and like I immediately think of like Brian Regan and how like I don't think he curses. I don't think Brian Regan curses. And I mean, I've laughed so hard listening to Brian Regan's albums and seeing him. We saw him live together, I think, right? Didn't we
Yeah,
see him? I almost lost my mind.
no,
Um,
he's great. That guy's great.
and I think like that's a great analogy. It's a great way to think about it because I thoroughly enjoyed this film too. Put it on. It started. I was a little confused with the opening credits with that mountain, which never came back. I don't know what that was. But then after that, it was like, oops, let's just get straight to the story. And it was just like right out the gate, just like all of the from like beginning to end. This film keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's still good now. I mean, I mean, 20 years later, this movie is still amazing. I think
They're
I
gonna fuck it
thoroughly.
up.
I'm really worried about the new one. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. I'm afraid, because I just think that why do that? I don't understand. Make a witches too, like you said. Connected to
Yeah,
Batman. But
connected to the new Batman.
but I really loved it. I think that like everyone in it was amazing, from every character, all the side characters, and all the extras, all the witches, all the extra witches, the men and women that were the witches, were all super amazing. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Passes the test to me. Flying colors.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. There it is, Manny. The witches.
witches.
And our
Guys, don't
last
forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, and share. Please.
Like,
The only
subscribe,
way we're going to be able to keep this thing going.
share, and join
Don't
the
just-
mailing list.
Don't just call me and tell me it's good.
Yeah. Don't just like let us know it's good. If you think it's good, hit that like button. You know? You hit that like for everything else. We know. You know you're liking things. Like the podcast. Write a comment. Review it. Send it to someone. Go, hey, this shit's awesome. You should listen to this too. Have listening parties. Make fun of us. Do whatever it is you got to do. Be part of the Nostalgia Test podcast family and join the
That's
mailing list.
You'll be hearing this on the next part of this drop. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Excellent.
Spooky season is over, guys.
Woo! Spooky season's over. We have really cool episodes coming up. And we also have an episode coming up with a really good guest, with a special guest. So stay tuned for that as well.
You got it. Yeah, I can't wait for that one. I can't wait for that one. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Oh,
it will be a guest with a movie. So
yes, and
can't wait. I don't know when that's going to be released, but
yeah. Oh, suggest a test too. I know someone out there suggested a test. We're going to get to your test, but everyone there on the website, thenostalgiatest.com, suggest a test and let us know. And yeah, we'll see you at the next Nostalgia Test.
See you guys later.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter @NostalgiaTest and on Instagram @TheNostalgiaTest. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.